Chaos on defense. We're going straight into the ban phase. And as I said, I expect to see either Nomad or Kaid, one or the other, maybe both banned here. But that Thatcher ban from Chaos, that means that there needs to be a Kaid ban here, or it's going to be very hard to attack the basement.
And I mean, even if you don't ban Kaid, you're still going to have access to mute.
Yeah.
So there's tools that the defenders have, and in fact, this is what I said. Chaos bringing a Thatcher ban, Thatcher being banned on Oregon, is not as uncommon as you'd think. We see it from time to time, and you can tell that I don't necessarily know if Empire was ready for that, so to speak.
Well, the problem is, who do you ban? You want to get rid of the mute or the Kaid? You don't really have a perfect situation here, no matter who it is. It's going to be the new one. So we see the electricity on those drops no longer available, but as you stated, the mute is still in play. So banning Thatcher is a reliable strategy for any team because of this new operator being added in. The Jaeger also, wow, that's quite interesting.
That's the counter joystick.
Yeah.
That's the joystick counter right there.
Well, it's partially the counter joysticks, but it's also going to make smoking on the basement a lot easier, or just in general. I mean, all throwables and projectiles now from the attack are going to be so much more potent. You know, it's not, we bring it up from time to time, but it's not always mentioned how, well, Jaeger is the only anti-throwable projectile kind of operator on the defense, or just in general. So getting rid of him is very powerful, not only because you're going to be hurting joystick specifically, but overall, it just frees you up for more dynamic plays with those throwables. Well, it's going to be basement first. Surprise, surprise, and mute will be there as well. Nothing too crazy about this so far. Chaos doing their best based on that Thatcher ban.
I mean, you ban the Thatcher, that's going to knock Empire on their heels, and immediately Chaos will use them. Not really a surprise there. That's what a lot of teams do. We've seen Secret do it before when they opt to try to put Leon on that mute play in this region, on Oregon in particular. And these are good bans to try and hurt Team Empire, so to speak. You know, the Thatcher and the Jaeger being off, it's going to do quite a bit of damage to this Empire squad on their best map.
Look at this, Empire setting themselves up for a take in through tower and construction. You can tell just based on the spawns. Nomad, pardon me, left unbanned is going to be a powerhouse in this round, and likely, you could expect every round, to be honest, this operator to be pretty potent. Be able to isolate those flanks very easily. And the Capitao being brought as well. So Capitao is very powerful on this specific site, able to do a lot of work in terms of cutting apart the defense with his bolts. I believe he also has he's the LMG on right now, which is a little bit different than what you're used to.
The one thing that Empire does so well on this map is hold tower control, and it's only going to be added onto with the addition of Nomad. And Joystick will be the very first encounter on a Vitalant. The mute will fall off inside a meeting just for the time being, spends a C4, and it will not connect. Now Vitalant just waiting to see if there's going to be a push.
You mentioned it, and you were correct. Team Empire are very good at taking control of tower and holding it. It's something they've done quite a lot on this map. Chaos are clearly aware of that based on how they've set themselves up here, trying their best to counter it, and they are going to at least down Joystick and finally finish him off by Vito. Excellent job there as the mute inside of Meeting Hall. And he is detected, so he'll fall back, he'll take his win, and just say sayonara. It's the new scope on the LMG for Capitao. That's going to take out secretly on the tower stairs. He was trying his best to get a flank off and bring things back, but that is effectively just your Maestro now gone, and the Evil Eyes locked in place and very much less useful.
Bit of a brazen move to have your Maestro be up that far. I mean, you've got the ACOG, the lone ACOG rather, on Chaos's entire lineup. And that's problematic because Maestro is able to take so much abuse at longer range, especially when you've got Scyther anchoring down this position on the back tower stairs. That's what I said about Empire. They're very rhythmic with being able to take control of tower and really hold on to it.
And that's the thing, it looked like Chaos were setting up specifically with that in mind, but it has not worked out, I think, as well as they were expecting it to. Scyther is going to be setting up here, trying to enter in through those north hallways. This is a difficult push for any attacking team, but Empire are doing their darndest to make it happen.
There's at least 30 seconds for them to go with, and tempo will need to be quick here as the smokes in Scyther's hands are just waiting ever so patiently. Shockwave is above, and Scyther, bit of a coming out party at the 6 Invitational 2019, playing extremely well. There's an asphyxiating bolt that'll go down, Shepard taking out Renewals, and the plant going down, as Shepard will then be tasked with utility duty. But he'll meet his hands at a bit of an explosive from Red Groove. It's 2 for each team, and Scyther cleans up the man, the myth, the legend, the M249, being put to good use with that new beautiful clean scope that has been added to that LMG, and Empire will right the ship after a bit of rocky seas. Being a bit of a scare to that team to start off with. But if you can't pin Empire down on that tower push that they always tend to do, that's going to be very problematic. And I don't know if moving secretly up on that Maestro to be as aggressive as he was, essentially giving his life away for free, was the right play there.
There are 2 operators left unbanned here for Team Empire that are going to be very influential on every round. Those 2 are Maverick and Nomad. Both of them played a huge role in how that round ended up. The Capitao was, I think, the most important one, but he is very specific to the bottom floor. As you can see, Team Empire have decided not to bring a Capitao now that they know they're not going to be attacking. Well, very unlikely they will be attacking the bottom floor again. And rightfully so, Chaos has rotated to the top floor, which is a sensible adjustment. So, everything's working on the side of Team Empire right now. But who remains? The Maverick and the Nomad. They're still there. And they're going to remain for probably the entire first half because of how influential they can be and how pivotal I'm sure they are in Team Empire's strategy. And they were very much so in the previous round, as stated. The fact that Maverick was able to get control of Attic allowed for Team Empire to take control of Meeting Hall by extension. And yes, they did lose 1 person in that endeavor, but they eventually did get the control that they wanted. Now, moving into this round, we're going to have to see something completely different from Team Empire, since it's a totally separate site. But already a good start for them. They're going to take control of Tower once again. Nothing too surprising. This is, as you stated, something that Team Empire tends to do time and time again. Once you get control of Tower, you just have so much to work with. It's a great platform to launch an attack onto any site on this map, including Tower.
Tower will be an interesting one, and I mean, hey, you know that Empire loves to control Tower, so what do? Well, you just lock it down. So anyway. Maybe, right. And there's Shepard once again, taking out secretly, will be the very first casualty yet again for Chaos. Not a good look for the member, this time going off an anchor onto more of a flex or aggressive roll onto the Bandit. So you say goodbye. And that could be a Nitro Cell down as well, but there's likely 2 more on the board for both Red Groove as well as Vitaline.
Yeah, there's plenty of explosive potential for Chaos, but slight loss there.
Vitaline had used his C4 to very limited effect, if none at all, and it looks like the second round is going to be very similar. Smoke will go down and just try to obscure Joystick on Repel. He's doubled up with Karzeka, but Renewals is going to play the windows aggressively with the shotgun, and at such a short range, very difficult for you to miss. It's a good opportunity for Chaos to try to keep this even as Joystick almost fruitlessly engaging this fight. But it's working out in favor of Chaos as that time just continues to bleed away with very limited success from Empire. Great angle all the way down through the hatch will light up Renewals as Empire now realizes that they're going to have to possibly try something a little bit different. The big window not really working out in their favor, and the kids' dorm windows also definitely not working out as Joystick gets shut down from Crips. A great play and a long-range angle as Chaos are just looking to hold on.
Team Empire still have tower control, but it's not really helping them with very much because the lethality of that North Repel is, well, nil. And given that the entire strategy from Team Empire in this round is, well, pretty bad. It's not working out for them great. It's a reliable strategy that teams have run quite often throughout Siege's history, but it's just not working out for them here, thanks to Chaos's excellent defensive play. And now you can see Empire very stalled out. A curious play by Crips, but at least he gets refragged. I'm sure he was expecting Renewals to cover his flank the whole while, but what is happening here? The plant going down, it will be denied thanks to Red Groove with the C4 from below. But that was a very close call for Chaos. Leaving just Shock, though, on Team Empire's side. He's taking control of site, but it's not really going to matter as he cannot possibly plant. Renewals will shut him down. Chaos take their first round in this map.
Shockwave deciding to take a visit to Narnia at the other side of the map, often forgetting that this was the site was over in kids' dorms. Empire, I get it, you love tower, but you don't need to keep a hard flank watch over there. I mean, they needed you on the site push and the execute, but...
I mean, as soon as you aren't repelling on North Windows, why are you still in tower? No, the strategy change was in for Empire. They went for the site control, and he's still there.
Really, though, you got to give a lot of credit to Chaos in the way that they played that. They were just aggressive enough to confound Empire, especially the smoke play of renewals inside of kids' dorms was pivotal to pressure Team Empire into a position where Empire committed mistakes because they realized they had mismanaged their time. Just simply being unable to take out renewals inside of kids' dorms meant that all of the strategy that Empire had needed to be done quicker, and it needed to be done with a proficiency that Empire really struggled to get. That one piece for Chaos alone can almost be attributed as a round victory for Empire there. Or for Chaos there, rather, and the loss for Empire. Even though you lost secretly early on, the rest of the team rebounded so well.
Yeah. I mean, overall, the round was well played from Chaos, and I think a lot of it, in my opinion, hands down, goes to renewals. His ability to deny access to those north windows was so important in that round outcome, and the fact that he got away nice and safe, fell downstairs, even more important. Able to continue to influence the round. He managed to take out the Zofia, for example, who was entering in through the white staircase. After the Zofia eliminated the Legion, I mean, if he wasn't there for the refrag, we could have seen a comeback from Team Empire. I think it was very realistic. But it's all said and done now. And moving on to the third round here, we're going to see another defense of the basement, as is expected. There's only two really reliable bomb sites on Oregon, and once you've won one of them, you got to hammer out the other until you make it work. So that's going to be the attempt here from Chaos as they go back downstairs. Last time Empire were really good at attacking this site. Thanks to the picks, they were able to get a meeting hall using this tower control. Haven't been able to make anything happen just yet, but it's the same thing on the side of Chaos. Chaos also were getting frags in the meeting hall last time we saw this engagement, so this is just a bit of a cold war going on here.
Joystick very low on HP inside a tower as well, as we see the trademark Empire tower take go as according to plan, though. There's been a bit more of an effort from Chaos to play reserve. Now, we keep in mind that Secret League got a bit too aggressive in round number 1. He paid for it with his life, hold him back, and allow that Alda to do good work with an ACOG and a much larger range lobbing bombs like a nice artillery would do in the hands of the Italian operator. Empire have taken about a minute and a half to take control of Meeting Hall, as you'd seen Vitalin last time playing in this particular area, but he's gone, long gone, which allows control for Empire, setting up those anti-flanks from the air jabs of the Nomad going off. Nomad, in fact, an operator by Joystick being used regularly. He's not on his trademark Ash. Maybe losing that ACOG on the R4C has proven to be a bit of a change for the Russian player. But, Michael, only a minute to go. Everybody is still alive, and it's about to be a utility dump from Empire as they are knocking at the gates of Chaos's defense for the time being. Scyther right now taking point as everybody on Empire is going to basically be tagged out. Crips has not been detected above. The Bandit on a flank could be the Kingmaker right now, as he has a rotate on into Meeting. Empire has their backs to a potential drop through Meeting, but it does appear that there's one on flank watch from Empire's side of things. Vitaline will get kill number 1 into Karzeka, who's been a bit ineffective in this match, as now Shepard will need some cover as he goes for the plant. Time for Crips to move, but he gets taken out. Shock on flank watch will get him down, and Scyther falls as Shepard gets a very successful plant. Taking matters into his own hands, takes out Renewal. Shock is there, Shepard is there, but Red Groove going up against his former team. He'll have to find 3 bodies with Diffuser down. He sees the gun of Scyther, takes one down, pulls out the Desert Eagle, goes for the plant to stop the defuse. Joystick is going to drop down, and Red Groove, with a drone on him, doesn't bother to check, and he sticks it for just a bit too long, and Empire recover exactly as you'd expect. There's a bit of a misplay there from Red Groove after a valiant effort to be able to put the round in his team's win column, and Empire will regain the lead.
Yeah, a little bit of panic there. Needed to take out the drone before going for that disable. Probably should have faked it as well, but we can nitpick all we want. Overall, the round really comes down to the fact that Empire forced that diffuse plant, and that was very well done, specifically on Shepard's part, to not only maneuver the lines of sight of the defense, but also get around those gas canisters coming out from the smoke on the side of Chaos. That was well played indeed, overall from Empire, but again, specifically from Shepard. The flanks were ineffective, and I wish we could have seen what happened there. I think it was Shock on the flank watch, but I wonder if he had some air jabs to support him. That's a big question in my mind. Not necessarily a guarantee or anything that's essential for sure, but would have made holding the flank a whole lot easier. And it's something that I'm really looking forward to seeing more of moving into the future of Pro League, how exactly Nomad's going to affect things. In that round, it was an excellent take from Empire onto tower as per usual, and then a simple push in through the north hallway. One thing I have to wonder, what would happen? Because Chaos are aware of how Empire take every time on Oregon. They take control of tower. So I have to wonder, what would happen if, maybe possibly, Chaos tried to contest tower? They're aware of the strategy again, and maybe it wouldn't work, maybe it would work, we don't know. But it's something that we haven't seen Chaos try yet. And it is something that I'm curious about.
What's going on, Michael? Look at this. What are we looking at right now?
This is tower control from Empire and an early frag for Joystick as he takes out Vito and then sets up some air jabs on the flank.
So he doesn't miss this time around. It was a tense struggle between the Mute and the Nomad as Joystick losing HP in every single encounter, but this time he does walk away with a very clean frag, something that has eluded him through the 2 times that Joystick has looked to take control of meeting. Every single thing that Empire are doing right now is almost identical. They put pressure on this wall as Shepard is able to take out 1 bandit battery. That's control of Attic now. If Crips chooses to not look, as the push from Empire will go in, and there you go, 2nd bandit battery down. Karzeka runs in, runs back out. This is looking almost identical to the last round.
Yeah, so again, I have to bring this up. Empire are attacking every single time with tower control, and Chaos are adjusting very little. Now, maybe they don't need to take or hold control. Oh, that was, I believe, a nade that eliminated his teammate's drone. A little bit of mistake there from Karzeka. He was trying to get the Evil Eye, and I think he did, but still. Anyway, moving on with my point, we need to see some adjustments from Chaos if they want to start getting more success on the defense of Oregon Basement specifically, because what Empire are doing is working quite reliably. And that if it ain't broke, don't fix it is the mentality here for Empire. As it continues to work, Secretly will give away a pick, and so will Crips. Joystick with 2 frags in this round. That's 1 for Scyther. Chaos now in a 2 versus 4. What is happening here for the defenders? They really are giving everything, every luxury to Team Empire.
I think at this point, as Scyther picks up yet another in a round that is now essentially Empire's to lose, here's Renewals, gets felled too. It's a flawless and perfect round from Empire there, as this looks more like we're used to seeing, but you know how Empire is going to attack this. Empire does a lot of things, but they don't really vary their strategies. They do the same thing time and time again, and Chaos has tried 3 separate strategies. Now, number 1, you stack up presence in Meeting Hall. Cool. You try to hold meeting as long as you can. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe you put a body up on that 2nd floor, which we saw from Crips, trying to hold down an attic. You know that Empire is going to take tower control. You know that they are going to set up multiple drones, and they're going to have 1 or 2 people on permanent flank watch. You keep Shockwave there. Scyther might be there as well if Karzeka takes more of an active or engaged role. And with Nomad being played by Joystick time and time again, there's an additional buffer for Empire on that flank watch where they don't really need to worry about what's going on with the rotates from their opponent. In this regard, it's Chaos. And Chaos has played, I think, quite well, but it's so tough to shake Empire when they do the same thing time and time again. Chaos need to continue to try different strategies to see what works. So far, nothing really has, as the laundry room now has been 3 consecutive losses for Chaos. Tower's really the dorms are really the only site that's actually worked well, and well, would you look at that? Now that it's open, it's exactly where Chaos is going to go again, where they fared much better last time.
Yeah, but as we know well, it's not going to be enough if Chaos are only able to defend 1 bomb site. They have to make an adjustment. Even if they win here, where do they go? It's Oregon. You're going to go back downstairs. Yeah, sure, maybe throw a curveball, defend tower, defend kitchen, but that might not really matter in the long run. It could see the very same result as a basement defense. In fact, it's very likely that that would be the case. It's an exposed bomb site, whichever one they would choose to go to. What really needs to happen is Chaos needs to try something new while defending the bottom floor if they want to have hope of taking this match overall. They're going to need to squeeze a few more rounds out of this first half. So far in this round, still anyone's. Empire failed the last time they attacked onto this floor, but I'm sure they'll make the necessary adjustments. The reason they failed so miserably last time, they were unable to get control of these north windows and use it to their advantage.
Eerily similar way that this round is playing out as well. Secretly was killed immediately in the last time that we saw a defense from Chaos, but the one person who held this entire round together was Renewals. He was excellent at being able to hold dorms. So what does Empire do? Well, Karzeka's been running an operator that carries frag grenades every single time, and with no Jaeger on the board, there's your opportunity to dislodge the smoke, and you do so. And you have the time on your side now, because last time, Renewals playing in the dorms was able to patrol both those windows and essentially cut down any opportunity for Empire to take control of dorms. It bled out a lot of time. Empire now have the luxury of knowing that they have taken the most important part of Chaos's defense in dorms and removed him from the equation.
And the insult to injury is that it was Chaos's ban onto the Jaeger, and that was what cost them now. They have, or by they, of course, I mean Empire, control of, wow, that's the second nade kill for Empire in this round. The Jaeger ban not working out so great here.
Got BC smurfing on Karzeka's account, apparently, from the DZ house.
That's not true. From behind, secretly going to do a lot of damage, but he gets shut down from the pistol of Shepard. Joystick also takes out Red Group. It's just Vido in a 1v5, and he'll get one as Karzeka goes down, and two as he downs Shepard. But will it be enough? As he goes for his third, he's going to get it, but he gets caught in the rotation. Empire will take the round, and the safe harbor of top floor for Chaos is safe no longer.
I like that Chaos is being as aggressive as they are against Empire. You need to try and catch Empire off guard. We saw it in the coastline matchup between G2 and Empire. You have to take the fight to Empire. Very similar to the way that G2 plays. Empire's going to do the same thing time and time again, but they're going to be set up so well. Their execution of Empire is almost flawless, and they're always in a position to trade off if they lose somebody. Now, the way that Chaos has played this, like I said in the last round, is you get really, really aggressive, and you try to catch Empire off guard. You know the way that Empire is going to attack. You essentially know where they're coming from. Try to take the fight to them. Doesn't really help, though, when half of Empire or half of Chaos have really struggled to find their footing on the scoreboard. But there's something interesting here that's happening that Chaos is going to try to maybe catch Empire off guard and stop this lead that Empire is building upon from growing even more, Michael.
At this point, less of a curveball, more of a Hail Mary, as Chaos is trying to defend the one position they have failed to defend throughout every single round that has cost them. But this time, it's the site. So I'm sure they're much more incentivized to do so. We'll see if they can make it happen. The attack strategy, here's the thing, the attack strategy for Empire is not going to change very much in this round. It's just going to be shorter.
Well, this is what I was trying to say about dorms last time around. If we did see a tower defense, where's the place that Empire always attacks from?
Tower.
Tower. So, hey, if we defend tower, it's a lot more difficult for them to be able to take control of it. And I think that might be the thought process here, but also the Chaos are just kind of trying whatever they can to see what works.
Yeah, that's in theory, I think. It's an intellectual discussion you could have about how tower is going to play out, but so far, Karzeka is going to get the first kill onto Vido, and it will be a refrag from Secretly, so at least there's that. Straight back onto Karzeka. So a little bit of bite here from Chaos. You got to love when the underdog starts fighting back. And this could very well be their second round in the first half. They need to salvage at least this round if they want to have a chance in this match. They will have likely a better time on attack, but will it be enough is the real question. Tracers are going to give away Renewal's position there. Shock aware of this now, and he will call it to his team. A little bit of baiting possibly going on here.
Now, here's one thing worth noting. Oh, Renewals get so close to gunning down Joystick on that repel. But here's one thing worth noting. You have a tower defense without a Jaeger on the board. You're trying to defend T3, that third floor of the tower. You know that Empire is bringing frags, whether they're bringing a buck or whether they're just bringing a sledge, as we can see. Even though Karzeka fell, you still got Scyther there with the 2 frag grenades. He only has 1 left, but it's much more difficult for you to be able to play T3 knowing that you don't have a Jaeger at your disposal because the projectiles and throwables that the attackers have can do maximum damage. You don't even necessarily need the Capitao that's on the board for Empire as well to inflict as much pain as possible.
Well, he's still got those bolts, and he's still going to be very useful when the actual attack comes out here from Empire. But you're right, the grenades could be very, very powerful. But lots of roaming presence from Chaos is slowing things down here. Shepard is in T2, though. It doesn't appear to be any defenders on T3, and the Firebolt comes out, but it's too late. What a play from Redgroove. He does get refragged, though, because Joystick is on T3, able to pick up those 2 kills from the rafters, and he's going to be in a great position to hold and allow for a plant, or just go for one himself, as he is doing just that. The rotations are cut off, and this is a dire situation for Crips to be in, as his last teammate gets eliminated. He's got the best access point inside of Attic, but it's not really going to mean much.
He knew where Joystick was positioned. He just didn't land the shots.
Yeah.
Could have possibly closed that gap if he was able to do it. I mean, you've got to expect somebody lying prone in this position. But he's not right there. Yeah. Joystick will put that in his column, and it's a 5-1 split for Empire coming out of their attacking rounds. Now Empire will go to defense.
It's curious that there was very little presence on the top of tower. T3, I don't think we had anyone actually playing it there for Chaos.
And well, I mean, you can't really play T3 without the Jaeger.
Yeah, no, you're right. Without a Jaeger, you can't play T3, but you have to try, don't you? I mean, you're defending tower. You can't just give up T3, because if you do, exactly what just happened is going to happen. The attackers are going to take control of T3, and they're going to punish you from it. Joystick got a bunch of kills in that round. Why? Because he was allowed to go to T3 uncontested. And it seemed like, not unmolested though, we did see Chaos on the long angles using those roamers to try and keep control of T3. I think the mentality there for Chaos was, if we can keep our roamers alive looking at the top of tower on long angles, we can deny T3 to the attack. That makes sense. I mean, the position that Vito was playing inside a cafeteria, that was clearly a dedicated hold to that north side of the tower. But it just didn't work out. Enough missed shots from Chaos allowed for Empire to see the angles being held and adjust to where there are not any defenders. Anyway, the half is done now. Chaos had a really bad one, and Empire are very much in the driver's seat as they go on to their first defensive round. They're going to choose the top floor.
A bit of a jostling there to see where you want to go, and no, Joystick on the Vigil. We've seen him do great work on that operator with his Telltale Jaeger, his old comfortable Jaeger removed. So okay, but you lose the fight to Crips early on.
Not a good start there for Empire, for sure. Montaigne also unbanned here. Could be very powerful, whoever decides to bring him. Empire not choosing to do that throughout their attacking half, but Chaos will. I like this addition. He's definitely going to help them with, and by them I mean Chaos, with taking these fights.
Secretly's been really flexible in the roles and the way that the teams have used him, swapping off between that Bandit and that Maestro depending on the site, and just trying to play as flexible as possible. You now put him on the Montaigne just to try and be your spearhead here on your attack, but I mean, you've got a lot of ground to make up if you're Chaos, and a lot of openings being created by Empire above just to try and give some hurt to the Montaigne as he pushes on in. You'll be able to play from above, and you'll be able to see over the top of that deployable shield and take him down. It's a good catch from Shepard as Vitaline will add to Chaos's tally. 2 kills for the Swedes, as now you lose both the Vigil and the Smoke. It's a refrag, 2 refrags actually, as Empire doubles up, taking out Secretly and Vitaline. Goodbye to the Montaigne. Great tool from Chaos that will not be there. Karzeka is warming up. So you get a slow start, and that's an uncharacteristic miss from Redgroove. A bit of shakes maybe, who knows, but Crips once again will be the last member of his team, and maybe possibly trying in vain here, as it's match point should Empire prevail.
Wow, okay. So Chaos had the round in the palm of their hand. They had all the picks going their way. It's 5 versus 3. It looked like they had full control. They even had a stranded bandit inside of showers, potentially, or bathroom as it's often referred to as. Potentially an easy pick there, especially with the Montaigne. And yes, okay, the vertical presence from the main window above. I hear you, but you could also just open that window. That moves the Legion. You've got the manpower to accomplish that. Or you could avoid the hallway altogether and simply take in through cafeteria. That's not a 6 pick off of, and that is a little bit of, can we call that BM? Parker?
Oh dear Lord.
Yes, it is.
Dear Lord. Literally.
Literally the Lord.
Literally the Lord.
I don't know if we can call that BM or just confidence, but whatever you want to call it. Empire are sure of themselves in this match.
I believe it's the first time we're actually seeing him be picked for
this season.
Record.
Yeah,
I understand
sure.
that. I understand that people like to do it as kind of a joke.
And then 6-pick off.
Tachanka is a dreadfully bad operator.
Right.
And doesn't, I mean, you don't, he's not good, you know?
The Russians are playing a Russian, so there's that.
You're up 6-1. You can throw around if you really want to.
He's actually the only non-Russian, actually, so, I mean...
Karzeka is Estonian.
Yeah, so...
And he's playing the Russian operator.
The only non-Russian...
Just to underscore how...
Playing the Russian.
Yeah, the only non-Russian on a mostly Russian squad playing the Russian operator for Team Empire. All right, well, this actually isn't really that bad of a setup for Karzeka here. He's enclosed himself inside of Kid Storms, and he's also got joystick there for covering fire if need be, but Vitaline, what a great read! Takes out the Capkin, or the Tachanka. I'm so used to saying Capkin because we just never see Tachanka, but there you go. Karzeka finished off, and the Lord will do nothing at all.
As per usual. So...
It was worth a shot.
Yeah, sure, why not, right?
I can't get over that. I'm not used to saying
I
just want to say Capcan.
You see the red icon and you think to yourself, oh, it's a Capcan, because Capcan has like some presence in Pro League.
But you can't say that because he's Tachanka.
Yeah. So, the confidence will not work out for Empire in that instance, but Joystick will refrag onto Renewal. So there goes the Sledge. Some grenades that won't be useful. It was Vito who was landing his over in Cafeteria. And there's going to be no grenades left for Chaos. Got good control over Tower. And by the way, they didn't need to go to Tower. This is worth bringing up. Team Empire did not need to go here, but they did anyway. They could have gone to the bottom floor.
They like it so much they play it on defense too.
Yeah, they're big on Tower, that's for sure.
They're big fans. But I mean, also, we've seen this with teams on a variety of different maps, that you can pull out one of the sites that aren't really well played, and if you've got some semblance of uniformity in the way that you defend it, then it can catch your opponents off guard. I mean, Cripps is doing his best to try and keep everything held together. He's going to take out his second kill of the particular round. He's going to, or rather, it's going to. No, this is his first actually, because it was Vital. Yeah, it was the Buck of Vital, and it was Cripps who got the opening kill in the last round.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of kills throughout this match, so it makes sense.
I feel like the Tachanka pick has made my brain slowly fade out of my skull at this point. But
honestly, this whole match has been going that direction. There's not a whole lot to really talk about right now. Chaos are tripping a little bit over themselves, and Empire are having really good rounds.
Secretly's planning in the doorway, though. The shield is being given away, and Shepard's going to run on in. He sees it. There's one. No coverage to try and stop him, but it's all Shepard with 10 seconds to go. He's going to have to stop a plant from going down as Cripps holds onto that diffuser, pulls the goo mine out of his foot. Is Shepard going to be able to make something work here? He's going to need to try to find where the plant is going down, but he has no information, and it's a successful plant for Cripps. Shepard will dive on out, but no, he doesn't look to the right. There's two bodies there. The diffuser's down as well. Flash, Shepard is completely blind, but I don't think anybody from Chaos knows where Shepard is. They're going to be playing cat shears. Shepard looking around the corner, sees the buck, can't land the shots, and Chaos, despite the fact that there was a Tachanka on the board, it's Chaos who wins the round, and it was a funny gambit from Empire, going with Tower, going with Tachanka, but it doesn't work out. Chaos will pick up a round, but still very much looking in favor of Empire.
In a way, you got to really appreciate the poetic justice of Chaos winning that round.
Okay.
Because in a way, it's Empire getting a little ahead of themselves. You might even say hubris, but it's not quite there. I'm sure they're going to lock things up here moving forward. They have proven themselves. They're on match point. They're probably going to be able to take this over the next few rounds. But if they throw enough rounds like that, then Chaos could easily bring it back. Chaos is not a bad team. And giving them opportunities like that, making mistakes like what Empire just did, is a bad idea. Well, it's going to hurt their round differential a little bit. Could have potentially been a 7-1, but one more round in favor of Chaos. And they're going to be attacking onto the bottom floor. So this is a little bit more normal. But yeah, this whole match, the way it's been being played out, There's been a lot of tripping going on by Chaos, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it. All right, they've been making some pretty substantial mistakes just within themselves, not within the entire match as a whole against their opponents, but within the microcosm that is their team. And a lot of lack of coverage here and there, with just losing straight-up gunfights, bad positioning for pulling out things like Legion traps or, you know, picking each other up, etc. It's been tricky for Chaos so far, and Team Empire are just playing their regular game. They're not doing anything too crazy. They're not going out of their way to pull out new strategies. They're just running typical Empire strategies, and it's working. And the one round where they don't, they bring it to Tachanka and go tower when they don't need to. And yeah, okay, they lost it.
I mean, they can just essentially, like, they're just flexing on Chaos at that point, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Essentially, I mean, you can go for broke at that point. I think there is a genuine worry from teams when they do those kind of things of losing momentum, especially if it's a particularly close matchup. But I think there's a lot of confidence on Empire's side of things. Well-deserved, mind you, given the way that Empire has played. I mean, they've only, Empire's only lost something like 3 actual, like, matches in something like a year's worth of time. That is an astonishing feat for this team.
And there's such a new team.
And yeah, they basically came, not from obscurity, but track where the position of Empire has been. Is it's a beautiful shot from Joystick, but I feel like we're used to seeing that from him. As he's going to get another, but it gets cleaned up by Shockwave. And this is Empire actually sweating it out, realizing they want to put this one away. That's 3 on the board, unanswered, as Empire look primed and ready to put this one to bed. Skarzeka falling to secretly as the shield of the Montaigne drops, but it's just Red Groove as well as the Mountain left. They're on tower. The sight of the occasion here, but that's a second for Secretly as he does his best Captain America impression and absolutely smites Shockwave towards that rear stage. The rest of Empire just need to sit on the site and wait. Site is downstairs in Laundry. The utility that's on the board right now for Chaos, got a hard breacher in the Hibana, so that's good. If Red Groove has not used the X-Kairos, you can begin to get the hatches inside a meeting hall, but a lot of teams will do that for you already. The problem is that you've got the Montaigne who's going to stand as a sentinel here secretly, meaning that it's all up to Red Groove to do the rest of the work. And Empire have basically everything going for them in spades right now.
The Gujmat, they're going to force Secretly to wait a little bit longer, but he's got plenty of time. The round was pretty fast. He'll push his way in, and he has full control of B's site. The gas canisters from Shepard are doing some serious work. The ADS comes out, but no shots landed. The follow-up, though, will be a success for Secretly. He doesn't get the follow-up, though. It's a one-on-one now as Shepard versus Red Groove. The shotgun, but he's blind, and Red Groove clutches it out. What a round there from Chaos. Secretly doing so much work, and Red Groove managing to get the frags where it matters.
This really looked like a round that was going to go for Empire at those 30-second mark, but a misplay from Empire and good capitalization from Chaos. Sometimes there are misplays that happen that aren't really led into by one of the other teams, or read into, rather. In this case, it was a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. Empire got a little too overzealous. They're going to need to rein it in now because this is 2 rounds in a row that Empire, with the way that they played through those first 7 rounds, probably should have been able to close it out. But Chaos have reacted accordingly. And if you can get that confidence and you can get the blood flowing on the roster of Chaos, that momentum is going to do quite well for you. And I mean, Empire have a lot of things going for them. They don't really tilt all that much. I mean, if you can go 22 rounds toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in all of Rainbow6, I'd say that your stamina is pretty good. But it's very easy for the momentum to shift in a game. Even though this is Empire's best matchup, they still need to be strong and not ensure that they're throwing away too many rounds to Chaos, who are right now in the midst of a good comeback, but we'll see if there will be more to it. We'll sit on match point. Empire have guaranteed themselves at least 1 point. They're going to want to put up more just to extend that lead over the stream in second place.
In that round, while Empire were playing a lot more reserved than they had in their second defense when they went to the tower, I still believe that Empire was a little too aggressive, a little too concerned about holding on to that meeting hall. And it did end up costing them a lot of missed shots as well. Secretly had a beast of a round there for Chaos on the Montaigne, and as discussed, Montaigne, a very important operator when played properly. And he has been played well, again, by Secretly. He could continue to be a very powerful driving force here for Chaos and potentially bring this all the way to a draw. It's only 3 rounds needed for Chaos to get there.
Secretly had a bit of a slow start there on defense, wasn't really doing much contributing in terms of map control, wasn't really doing much for utility, wasn't really doing much on the scoreboard either. but he's picked up his pace over the last 4 rounds or so, and his contributions have really helped Chaos rise to the occasion. Of course, not to discredit the fact that Empire did have some opportunities that they tossed away, but they're now defending kids' dorms, which is the only place that they have actually won on defense thus far. They're going to hope to close this one out. A minute has been used on Chaos as they begin to circle the wagons around the master side of things, which has forced Empire off of the generator area and forced them over towards dorms, forced them over towards White Stairs, with Karzeka being the wild card right now downstairs, not just outside of the bathroom. And he's actually going to catch secretly as the shield's going to make a ton of noise. Leading on up with Karzeka just patiently waiting, but you're going to have a very narrow window to possibly punch this Montaigne on, and he's not going to give it to him. Karzeka will wait in vain. That patience will not be rewarded for the time being.
You see Empire's just waiting for the crossfire to happen there, and secretly he's aware of that. A little bit of aggression here from Joystick as he actually tries to rotate, but secretly, again, so potent on this Montaigne, able to hit the shots onto Joystick and bring the manpower in Chaos's favor. But a refract from Shock from Junk Tower means that we'll go back to nice and even, this time at 4-4. It's control of Generator, though, in Chaos's favor, and they could have an easy site take.
This possibly could be 2 bodies here, though, to double up, as Red Groove is going to need to ensure that Chaos will not be stopped. Getting this plant down, Violin will fall off as Crips finds a kill, forces Shepard to get really aggressive. Oh, Scyther! 2 big kills with Karzeka there, and Scyther! He's going to catch them all. 3 kills to end the round, and Empire survives a bit of a scare. Chaos comes tantalizingly close to that round as well. But close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades there, and in this case, it's going to be Empire walking away with the victory. 3 big points on the board for them, and they will continue their streak at the top of European Pro League.
And I gotta say, throughout that entire match, it didn't seem like Empire had lost control. Even when they were blatantly not really in the round to win it, they were still in a position where it didn't seem likely that Empire would lose the match as a whole. At no point did I really truly feel that Chaos was capable of bringing that all the way back, despite some individually fantastic plays. Yeah, you said it, secretly, he had a bad first half. Second half, goes on to Montaigne. He does excellent for his team. But the coordination on that attack on the top floor, what was that? They had control of Generator, but where is all the support? Where are the smokes being placed down? You know, where's the rotations cut off by the attackers? Where's the plant? The gas canisters, the C4s from Empire were able to stop that. There was no baiting of any of that. They had enough time to bait out gas canisters, but instead, everyone from Chaos just says, hey, we have an opportunity. Let's rush into Generator and see how that works out. It didn't.
There were a couple of things that I really liked about Chaos that I actually think they've improved upon. Some of their strategies and the variations that they had, their unpredictability factor was good, and on a map like Oregon, unpredictability works so well. There are teams that can pull out strategies and do kind of wonky, weird things on Oregon that can pay extremely large dividends for your team, especially going up against Empire, who Oregon tends to be, as we said, by far and away their best map. The biggest problem that I actually saw from Chaos more than anything was just an inability to hit their shots.
Yeah.
There were a lot of missed opportunities and dropped rounds that Chaos just simply could not land their cursor on the heads or bodies of their opponents. And when you're going up against Empire and you know they're going to do the same things with very minimal deviation, you're going to need to come out ahead and punch a little bit above your weight in terms of aim battles. And in that particular matchup, Empire won the aim battle almost every single time, and that really can't be happening. So if Chaos wants to contend with the best teams in Europe and really solidify their spot, they need to really go hone their skills when it comes to aiming, because you need to be able to land those shots against teams like Empire.
There were some great moments there for Chaos. You can't take away from them the fact that they got 3 rounds against Empire, which is worth noting, but it wasn't enough in the end. And as you said, they need to work on some things moving forward. I'm a little disappointed. I was expecting them, you know, given the downtime that they had over this first half, from the first half to the second half now, to be a little bit more practiced, but is what it is.
So we have an interview ready with Joystick, and we'll bring up our very first interview of the day because the G2 stream match went to a draw, and we'll say hello to Joystick and actually ask his thoughts on what exactly happened. First and foremost, congratulations on your match today.
Thanks.
And
Hi, guys.
we're well. I do want to actually ask you about the Invitational, because we didn't really get an opportunity to ask you or pick your brain with what happened at that Invitational. Now, you guys put on one hell of a performance. You came so close on that Coastline matchup, and then you gave a real big fight to G2. As a team that is still relatively new, what did you learn the most from your time competing at this tournament?
We just know that in finals we lost our map veto because Oregon was on 4th map, I guess, and Club was on 5th map. It was it was wrong. We need to play Oregon 2nd map. I think that's all.
Right. Take us through that Coastline matchup, because I do want to pick your brain on it. The longest matchup that we've seen in top-level competitive Rainbow Six history. How fatiguing, how tiring was that match against G2, and how much did that match, or that map rather, impact the next 2 maps that you played against G2?
It was so hard match because you're scary to fail, you're scary to lose gunfights, you're scary to do everything because every round can be match point, and we are tired after the first map. It was really hard.
I can imagine. Now, when you look towards this match against Chaos, Chaos is a team that has made notable improvements over the last season. What did you identify as the biggest thing to change? What did you want to change the most about your play style heading into the rest of this season of Pro League?
I don't know. I want to improve my operators. I mean, I want to learn how to play not on Ashe.
not Ashe and Jaeger all the time, right?
Yeah.
Now, you look for the rest of the season. You got 6 more games to go. You were undefeated. You look incredible in that Oregon matchup in particular, though Chaos did get a little close over those 2 rounds, especially with Karzeka picking Tachanka. When you look at the rest, when you look at the rest of the season, preparing for Milan, how do you ensure that you keep up the level of play that you've had so far? How do you ensure that you make it to Italy in a couple months' time to represent Europe as one of the 2 teams to go in and make it to the quarterfinals?
Just train, and then go to the bootcamp, train there, train everywhere. Just training, and that's our secret.
And hopefully you gain some good experience from your run at the 6 Invitational as well. Anything to say to your fans, etc., before we end the interview, Joystick?
Thank you all, guys. Thank you for watching. Chows are the best. That throw, 5v2, it was a really good round from them. Yeah, that's all. Thanks, guys.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. I like that he paid tribute to the opponents. It's always nice to see that camaraderie and that kind words be extended to the people that they just played against, win, lose, or draw.
No, you're absolutely right. Chaos, I think overall, well, they had a pretty bad match there. They are showing improvement, and that's important. And there's potential for them to keep moving forward. You know, they're not out of things yet. Currently sitting in 6th place. There's, again, potential. But it was Empire's match through and through.
And the Russian machine that never breaks continued onwards on their path towards representing their region, which looks pretty good for the time being, but there's still plenty of games left to play. Not just over the next couple weeks, but today. We still have 2 more matches for you, and we'll get to our 3rd matchup of the day. Mouse versus Secret is the next on the docket, and we'll be live with that in just a couple minutes.